There are still many more secrets left to discover in Jedi Survivor and lots more missable rewards that you don't want to skip on. You'd be surprised just how many interactions this game has, so today I'm going to show you a lot more of them. If you end up finding this video useful, a sub to the channel would help a ton, and let's dive right in. Coming up to number 1, there are more lightsaber customization options than you might see at a first glance, including ones that let you control the angle of the vents of the Crossguard lightsaber and the attachments displayed on the blasters. You can easily miss out on these if you don't use the preview function often, which lets you see how your lightsaber looks like under different stances. From this view or from the stance switch menu, I suggest going for the crossguard and then into the vent component. I cannot believe it took me over 60 hours to realize this, but there's a customized button special for this that lets you control the angle of the side beams. And no, it's not just for the preview. The angle you set here will also display during gameplay exactly how you fine-tuned it. So you don't have to stay with the Kylo Ren looking one, but you can go with a more High Republic or Templar looks that might suit you better. Similarly, once you get the attachments for the blasters, you can easily toggle these on or off when choosing different barrels. What's great is that each barrel type has a different type of attachment depending on the theme. So some can have sniper scopes, extra sights, a bulkier chamber, or other accessories that many times look quite stunning. I highly encourage you to test these and see which ones fit the best for you. At number 2, during the main story, you likely notice this giant bird that you end up freeing after completing that story part in the jungle of Kobo. You'll oftentimes even see it roaming the skies or landing in certain places. Well, that is because it's actually waiting for you, as later on, you now have a secret interaction with it that lets you fly it. Well, kind of. So head over to the Boiling Buff meditation point right here on this side of the map, where you will see these dispatchable grapple points nearby. You will want to use these right here from this pillar to reach the other one, which is going to be right in front of the giant avian friend that you just made. Once here, you will notice that there's a new prompt that lets you basically travel to a new destination. So that destination is exactly the unreachable one you likely saw in the derelict dam at the start of the map, which is basically that second elevator that you could not activate. Well, this is how you reach it, and this is how you can activate that shortcut. But on top of the same platform, you will find a forced stair with another difficult jumping puzzle, which will definitely put your skills to the test, but will also provide an extra skill point if you complete it. Coming up next, I'm sure you noticed this locked door back at the saloon on Kobo, and looking at the map, it remains blocked even after the main story is finished, though it does appear to feature a couple of rewards inside. Now, to open it, you actually have to talk on several occasions to Moran, which is the NPC right next to the bar area, as he will give you access to that room. But you need to go through all of his dialogues, which you actually do by progressing in the main game and visiting him every now and then. So if you already finished the main game, you can do this even quicker by basically just resting at the nearby meditation point downstairs. If for some reason it does not work, you can always teleport away, rest in a different location, and then come back, which should progress that dialogue. Just make sure that you're far enough into the main story, even finished it, and eventually he will give you access to that locked door. Unfortunately, the rewards inside are pretty disappointing. The treasure chest contains a music track for the DJ Droid at the bar, so that is about it. I would have loved it to get something more special, but at least now you know what is behind that locked room. But there's another secret room on Kobo, and I'll give a big thanks to Dream King on Twitter for letting me know of this one. So you need to actually head over to this cave in the Harvest Reach, very close to the main town. It's basically just a quick walking distance from there. From this point on, you'll have to go inside of the cave, and in the center you're going to notice this main pillar with some climbable vines. Use them to basically reach the ceiling, and from this point on to the second platform next to the one with the treasure chest on top. Now at the end here, there's going to be a gap, but it is very well hidden. There's a patch of green on the wall. Even though it appears to be part of the wall, it actually hides the entrance or the gap to the next secret area. Now if you squeeze through it, it's going to be around a 2-minute or so walk, or should I say squeeze through it, but eventually you're going to reach the other side, which is going to be this really interesting kind of room with a bunch of B1 droids who appear to have drawn on their canvases what appears to be a Moga creature, or well, their interpretation of it. No items here unfortunately yet again, but it's not like you see this every day to stumble upon droids exploring their creative side. There's also a speeder abandoned next to this wall, but nothing else on top, so you can just exit using the gap that brings you to the second platform with the item chest. And finally, to number 5, we have possibly my favorite secret / Easter egg in Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which is a full-blown cameo from none other than Boba Fett himself. This happens once you've dealt with all the bounties provided by Cage, which is going to give you a final encounter and a brand new pistol on top. Here's a few tips to easily complete these. First, if you talk to Cage once you have unlocked these bounties, she actually gives you the location to all of them in the form of rumors as you complete each one by one, so it will be very easy to find them. Second, be prepared for an uneven matchup as you'll get to fight with multiple bounties in many occasions at the same time. In this case, mass telekinesis is a godsend as it literally lets you throw them off cliffs in an instant, which is pretty funny given the fact that these are supposed to be some of the toughest enemies in the game. And third, the 2 big bounties at the top will have you play through 2 areas that you might have already explored, one on Jedha and one on Kobo. In both of these situations, the game actually lets you teleport only to the meditation point at the start of the area, even though you have already completed it and activated the other ones. And that's because these areas get fully reset and now will contain new enemies, included, you guessed it, a lot of new bounty hunters. So in this case, you have to reactivate those again and reach the new waypoints and basically the final boss encounters. Also, a quick tip for the one on Jedha: at the end of it, the usual way to get via the waypoint nearby has collapsed, so you will want to actually go through the same underwater tunnel that you used during a later game story mission in the same area. I just wanted to make you aware of that since I thought I was stuck for the longest time. But once you're done with all the bounties, Cage gives you a final one where you have to meet her near the devastated settlement on Kobo. Suffice to say that things don't go well and you will get a surprise visit from Boba Fett himself during that mission. His presence is really awesome and I think Respawn captured his looks really well as the voice. Now towards the end you will also get to grab this gun off the ground as well as its components, but I suggest lingering for longer and having a chat with Boba. He has some interesting dialogues you might want to hear. This is how the pistol looks like, by the way, and just like the other barrels, it also has its own attachments, which in this case is a fin. If you like a more slick design but less bulky than the skeleton key, this can be a nice substitute. Cage will also leave the saloon following this last encounter, but her shop still remains, so if you were wondering, you can still buy all the missing unlocks from her shop even after you're done with all the bounties. This is pretty much it. Let me know down below if there's any other secrets that we did not cover on the channel. In the meantime, I'll see you guys in the next video.